Tuck yourself in.
It's the tricky bit.
It's the tricky bit. We're done.
I'm gonna press the red.
Do it. You press it.
To be one.
Mm.
And then goes
Oh,
there.
just up a tiny bit.
There.
That's perfect. Yeah. That's it. Bye, guys. Hey guys, how's it going? It is Friday today down here in Leeds, and I thought I'd do a little bit of Q&A for you guys because I've had some questions coming through, so just thought it'd be fun. On Fridays I haven't got anybody in the office, so D-Mac's out, Mike and Callie, the tech guys, they're jetting off abroad to a conference somewhere, San Francisco. Anyway, the point is I'm alone. I should be probably doing other stuff. Planning, practice, cleaning this studio, shaving my head. Need to trim this bad boy. Anyway, so I thought it'd be a cool thing to do some Q&As for you guys. I've got some questions here that have just come through. Let's see what's going on. So Huckabee asks, do you ever practice through pain? I don't, Huckabee. I think if pain is involved, generally it's a bad thing. So what I would recommend is, like, you don't actually specify what type of pain it is. I'm assuming it's either arm and hand pain or back pain, because I know that back pain can go along with playing bass. If it is back pain, just a quick tip for everybody is, like, practice sitting down, or a good proportion of your practice should be sat down. These things are super heavy, like they're heavy. So standing up for a few hours with this dangling around your neck, like a big wooden medallion, it's probably not cool for your back. So I really do recommend sitting down, and not sitting down on a couch where you're like, you know, where your ass is disappearing a foot into the couch, because that's what happens with some couches. Try and find like a chair where your feet, or where your legs are at a right angle. You can't see my legs, but they're kind of at a right angle. My thighs are like straight and then straight down there. So, and sit with a straight back and all that malarkey, all those shenanigans. But yeah, so that's it in terms of what you should do posturally when you sit down. If you're an academy member, just check out, I can't remember which course it's in. I've got a whole thing on posture anyway on my online academy. So check that out if you're an academy member. But what I'd also say is, if it's, wrist and muscular pain, tendon pain from actually, playing whatever techniques you're practicing, either try and relax and take it easier. It could be possible that what you're trying to do is out of your comfort zone right now. So maybe try and dial it back a little bit so it's a little bit easier, and then work towards it that way instead of throwing yourself in at the deep end. Try short bursts as well. Don't practice for, 3 hours non-stop, 4 hours non-stop, or whatever you're doing. Try and do, 25, 35 minutes, then take a 5-10 minute break, 35, minutes, and take a 5-minute break. That kind of thing. Pomodoro Technique, if anybody's into that, I'm really into that. Like, give yourself regular short breaks as well. You've got to give yourself regular short breaks, which really ties into the Pomodoro Technique. So if you have got any pain, I'd not try and practice through it. Don't try and practice through it. Try and figure out why it's happening and then deal with it from that standpoint. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is one I get a lot, guys. So Bob asks, these are the specific words: why the hell are you wearing those stupid gloves again? Get rid of them. Okay, Bob. So I don't know if I have actually talked about why I wear these gloves. I've only got one on at the minute. But I suppose now is a good time to talk about it, seeing I've probably had that was probably the 500th time somebody's asked. So we might as well do it now, okay? So the gloves, guys, is absolutely nothing to do with tone of the bass. It sounds the same. Sounds the same, right? It's nothing to do with tone. It's to do with, I've got a neurological movement disorder or disease or whatever you want to call it that I developed in my late 20s called focal dystonia. It's not as uncommon as people think. It is actually quite common, but it's a real bitch to get diagnosed with it. Because there's not much known about it, and what will regularly happen is people will go to the doctors and they'll say, oh, I've got these symptoms, and they'll say, oh, you've got tendinitis, or you've got RSI or something like that, and they possibly have focal dystonia. And in a nutshell, well, I'll show you what happens. Like, mine's developed over the last few years, so what it started out as isn't the same as what it is now, okay? But this is what it is now, and thankfully it seems to have, just be staying like that, okay? So if I hold my hand out like this, okay, that's my hand with the glove on, okay? So no movement, as you can see. There's probably a little bit of, can you see there's some twitching of my fingers? Okay. Now if I take the glove off, my hands do that. Okay, so I'm not actually moving my hands there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not actually moving my fingers. My fingers are doing that themselves. So, but check this out. So when something touches the surface of my hands, it stops the movements. Now, this, to anybody that's suffering with focal dystonia, a lot of people don't have this, and I didn't have this to start with either. This is just something that's developed. So, and I did actually develop it in this hand first. You can see that both my hands do that movement thing. I can feel them clicking. It's very, very strange. Okay, so, I'm not actually moving my fingers there. They're just doing that on their own. Now, if I relax them, it's fine. They don't do them when it's relaxed, but as soon as I do that, they start moving, okay? Whoa, look at that one. Crazy, relaxed. And then, but if we look at this one, as soon as I touch one, you'll see the rest of them calm down. So it's what the gloves act as is it's tricking my brain. As I touch my fingers, the tremors stop. That's what the glove does, okay? Now, focal dystonia actually doesn't start like that. And a lot of people don't have these symptoms either. It started with me in my late 20s in this finger, and when I was playing, sometimes it was like somebody had unplugged this finger, okay? So I was like, da 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 da, and then it just wouldn't move. It was my brain was sending the signal, but my finger was not getting the signal. So it was like literally somebody had unplugged it and disconnected this finger from my brain. But then I started playing with the pick for a while, because I found that really helped. Obviously, I couldn't, this finger was, at one point, I couldn't use it at all. It was complete, like I could pick up things with it, but I couldn't use it to play bass at all, or guitar. And then, so I started playing with the pick, and lo and behold, when I started playing with the pick, it all was okay to start with, and then it spread into this hand. So this hand was actually originally uninfected, but it's not infected now. It was, it just wasn't affected. Not infected, it just wasn't affected. But when I started using the pick, for some reason, I started getting it in this hand, and it started happening between the middle finger and the little finger. I'd go to move my middle finger, and my little finger would move instead. Why does this happen? Okay, so in a nutshell, my brain, it's to do with plasticity of the brain, okay? And plasticity has got to do with fine motor movement, okay? So your brain has got a honeycomb type thing over the front here, or possibly over here. I should sort this information out before I put it out to the world. Anyway, I'm sure whether it comes from here or here is, we don't mind about that. The rest of it will be cool. Okay, so it's a honeycomb type film over the brain, and when you want to move an arm or a finger or a ear. But when you want to do something like that, okay, when you want to, I don't know why I'm grabbing my ear. When you want to make a movement, your brain sends an electrical impulse to one of the honeycombs, okay, one of the honeycombs, boop, and it goes down the honeycomb all the way, right down to your finger, and does this, okay, whatever you're asking it to do. Now, the problem with focal dystonia is the honeycombs actually start overlapping and breaking and being very confused. So when your brain sends a signal to, let's say, your finger, instead of shooting it down this honeycomb, because they've merged and done and split together and all these type of things, it goes to this one and then shoots over to the other one, and you'll move another finger, or sometimes your whole hand will lock up and look like it's spasmed and all those bad types of things. So that's what focal dystonia is. It's a real bitch. Like, my heart goes out to, because I've suffered with it for a long time, and I'm quite publicly known for, just talking about it openly. I've had a lot of people suffer with focal dystonia get in contact with me and ask my advice and things like that. Like, I'm lucky, I've kind of battled my way through it, and the gloves really help. If you have got focal dystonia, try it out, it might work for you. The only thing that I've really learned about focal dystonia that's like really solid, great information to anybody is that it's completely different for everybody who gets it. There isn't a one-size-fits-all cure. In fact, I don't know if there is a cure. This is just something that helps me be able to play. And at one point, rewind to just before I started Scott's bass lessons, I was really struggling to play at all. In fact, I had to take nearly 6 months off at one point. 6 months off, which killed me. But now I can play, I can gig. I'm back in the groove. But it's taken, it took a good few years for me to feel like I could actually play regularly again and really feel at one with the instrument. It was a real hard slog, but it was just, thankfully I found these and they did the trick for me. So that, Bob, is why I'm wearing the gloves. Okay, another question that I get asked a lot about, Scott, what strings do you use? And that's from Steve. Steve, these strings are Dunlop Super Brights, which are really nice. And they're really nice. The P-Bass has got some round wounds on that it came with. I've got no idea what they are. They're really good. I really love them. The flats that I use on the P-Bass are Diodario. They're really good. I only know they're Diodario because I did a search online to look at what bass strings they came with when they made it. So you might be getting a bit of a gist that I'm not really that into strings. I maybe should be more, but I'm more into, I just feel like a lot of the tone and stuff comes from me and not so much the strings. But hands up, I need to investigate strings more because I know that, it can affect the tone of your bass and things like that. So that was a crap answer, wasn't it? It was a really crap answer. Steve, I'm going to look into this more. Leave it with me, okay? But the strings that I use are really, I love Dunlop Super Brights. I've used them, they're great. Shout out to Daryl at Dunlop, he's a proper dude, love you. Daryl, love, everybody send Daryl some love. He's a proper dude. And I love Diodario, really good as well, really consistent. I'm not going to swear, what really annoys me is where you buy a set of strings and some of them are a dud in the pack. So you put them all on, one's like a dud string, and then you go buy another pack, and some string brands have got real problems with that. Drives me around the bend, man. But saying that, Dunlop Super Brights are really consistent. I haven't had any problems at all. Diodario, super consistent. Haven't had any problems at all. So that's what I use. The last question is from Sarah, and she says, Scott, it's a long one. This, Scott, how do you get so much done? ... At the last count, including the YouTube videos you release, plus the Academy weekly feedback videos you do, plus the weekly Academy show, plus the Academy courses, plus anything else you release, It looks like I'm squinting here because I kind of need glasses. Anyway, Sarah, apologies. So it looks like you're releasing from 7 to 10 videos per week. Plus, from what I see on social media and the photos you post there, you also have a young family and seem to spend loads of time with them too. ... Capital letters, what gives? Okay, Sarah, how do I get so much done? A couple of things. Well, not more than a couple of things. I'm really into scheduling stuff, so I plan everything out really, not down to the finest detail, but I just have, I make sure I know exactly what I'm doing on what day and what time I allocate to everything, so I don't spend like 1 hour wasted looking on YouTube just at nothing, just going from video to video, which I did this morning. I feel really guilty about it, actually. I did that this morning, but I don't normally do it. I try not to do it. So yeah, so I really try and structure my days so I know, like, I'm allocating, different bits of time, different blocks of time to different specific tasks. I've always done this, and I've done this because of one reason. I'm super, super lame. I am the most easily distracted, most ADD, I want to do this, I want to do that, what's that, squirrel, person you'll have ever met. And anybody that works with me will tell you exactly that. I am super, super distracted, so easily distracted. So I really try and structure my day and stick to it. I try and allocate time for my family in the morning, definitely. I get up early, normally get up about sort of like 6:30 because my son drags me out of bed, literally. 6:30, and then and then I get to the studio about probably between 9:30 and 10. So I spend all them, I've got a good few hours in the morning with the family, and then once I'm at work in the studio from 9:30 to 10, I've got different days allocated to different things. Mondays is filming, Tuesdays more filming, Wednesdays like team meetings, stuff like that. What else do I do? Essentially, I just allocate different blocks of time to different things. One thing that really helps, and I practice a lot. Among all that, I practice a lot. So one thing that really helps me is not watching TV. I don't watch TV because I find that it just absolutely sucks up my time and it's just full of crap. One thing I do watch TV. I do watch TV, but I normally watch it for like an hour a day. At the end of the day, usually between 9:30 and 10:30 with my wife. And we're usually watching like a box set or something like that, right? I suppose my short answer is like really great time management, or try to, because I'm really bad. I'm naturally really bad, so I try and be really great at time management and I work a lot as well. So, I allocate time for my family, definitely, but I absolutely nail it in the daytime and then get home. And then after, I get home sort of, regular get home time, like 6 o'clock or something like that. And then mess around with my family and stuff, get the kids in bed, watch TV with the missus, and then 10:30 comes, and then I usually work till like 12, 1 in the morning. And then that's it. And also I've got a great team, so specifically to do with what you're talking about, the videos, I've got DMAC, so Denmark, who's not here today, I'm pointing over there because that's where he sits. Denmark does all the editing as well. So if I was editing it myself, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So Denmark does all the editing. And then I've also got another videographer called Gav, who helps out as well, and he does some editing as well, because there's a lot of videos knocking about. It's crazy, a lot of videos. So hopefully, guys, that's I don't know. I just wanted to make a video just to hang out with you guys today, and getting among it. I feel, oh God, dog's sneezing. George, are you okay? He's okay. So anyway, I've got no idea what I was talking about there. I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. The dog sneezes freaked me out. Anyway, hope you're all having a wicked day. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you know any bass players that are into bass playing, want to take their bass playing to the next level, point them in the direction of Scott's Bass Lessons and the YouTube channel. And if you haven't checked out the academy yet over at Scott's Bass Lessons, go check it out. It's really cool. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you in the shed.